Welcome. You are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 9, National Football League. A game of epic proportions in a game that, when it started, had nothing to do with being historic, but at its end, it had some historical meaning. Philadelphia Eagles traveling out to the Bay to take on the Oakland Raiders. 3-5 Eagles, 3-4 Raiders. Big game for both teams. Eagles looking to climb back into it. Look, you're as bad as it sounds at 3-5. You're right in the thick of things in the NFC East. Meanwhile, the Oakland Raiders at 3-4. You're just trying to fight, scratch, claw to put yourself in a position at the end of the season to compete for a wild card. And we already know it's going to be for that 6th and final wild card spot in the AFC conference. So if you're the Raiders, got to set yourself up with wins at home versus teams that you should be able to handle. And you got to feel like a 3-5 Philadelphia Eagles team that's struggling, that's lost about 3 games or so in a row, 2 for sure, that you should be able to handle them at home. But I told people, whoever would listen to me for the preview in this game, that look, this is a scary Eagles team because Nicholas Foles is coming back from the concussion. They can get it done with him at the quarterback position. And I had a guy, Dre from the Bay. He keeps talking to me about this Raiders defense. And I told Dre before the game, I said, look, man, I hear you on the Raiders being a top 10 defense, but check this out. The Raiders haven't played any teams that offensively scare you, with the exception of the Denver Broncos. And when they played the Broncos, what happened in that game? They were absolutely shredded. So miss me with all of the top 10 defense talk, because until they are able to prove it against a team that can actually score points, the Chiefs don't score points, the Pittsburgh Steelers don't score points, the Redskins were still trying to find their way at the time when they played them. So they've played against a lot of teams that don't like the scoreboard up. And so the Raiders have been able to play some solid defense, hold teams down, and it makes it look like they're a dominant defense, but they're really not. And so I expected the Eagles to do some things in this game to really take advantage of this Raiders defense, but I didn't expect them to go out and perform at such a high level like they did in this game. I don't need the big board for this one. This is a pretty self-explanatory game. Nicholas Foles and this Eagles offense came out and dominated from the opening whistle until the game was over. Nick Foles came out and he found Riley Cooper early and often. And nobody told me that at the O.co there was a light chance of snow. But it was raining Nick Foles touchdowns in this game as he went off for 7. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them things. 7 touchdown passes in this game. Riley Cooper went off. I think he had 3 touchdown grabs in the first half. Raider cornerbacks were falling down all over the place, and they were absolutely dominated in this football game. A reoccurring theme, something that Raiders fans are accustomed to by now. Darren McFadden got injured in a very anonymous and inconspicuous way. He plays 1 carry. He goes out of the game. You don't see him for about 2 possessions. And then you go, hey, where's Darren McFadden at? And he's over on the sidelines in civvies, in street clothes, with his normal get-up, the Raiders ball cap, a sweatshirt, and some sweats. And he's got a hamstring injury. This is it for Darren McFadden in Oakland. He can't stay healthy. Time for him to start a new chapter elsewhere. Maybe he can stay healthy somewhere else, because he definitely can't stay healthy in Oakland. Terrell Pryor goes down in this game. I think it was a precautionary pull from the game. You're getting clobbered. You're getting pummeled. No need to keep him in the game taking shots. So I think they took him out of the game. He tweaked something, but I think he's fine. But the only thing that wasn't fine at the end of this game was the Oakland Raiders' ego in their defense. If they were ranked in the top 10 before this game, after giving up over 600 yards of total offense, you're no longer ranked in the top 10. That is for sure. You give up 49 points. You give up well over 500 yards of total offense in this game. You're shredded in every way imaginable. Deshaun Jackson over 100 yards receiving. You got Riley Cooper over 100 yards receiving. LaShawn McCoy goes off on you as well. Every facet of the game was dominated by the Philadelphia Eagles. They were clicking on all cylinders offensively. This was a nice bounce back game for the Eagles. They needed this one in the worst way after going home and dropping 2 consecutive games at the Link. They went on the road. It seems to be a known fact that they can get it done on the road. Just don't send this Eagles team home. They're afraid to go home. There's a monster in that closet, and if they open it up, they don't like what they're going to see. So if you keep the Eagles away from home, they're a dangerous team. The Raiders found that out firsthand as they are thoroughly dominated in this game, 49-20. Not really much more to break down here. Nicholas Foles goes off and sets an NFL record for most touchdown passes in a game with 7. The Raiders are really never in this game. It was so surprising because they had played so well defensively all season long. I expected the Eagles to do some things in this game to take advantage of this Raiders defense. What I didn't expect for this Raiders defense to do was to just not put up any resistance. That was unexpected. And before I knew it, the score was 21-3, and then I blinked and I looked up again and it was 42-13, and I said, wowzers. This game got out of control in a hurry. As my teacher used to say, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Raiders drop to 3-5 on the season with this blowout loss. Eagles get to 4-5 and inch their way back closer to 500 after this monumental dismemberment of the Oakland Raiders, 49-20 at the O.co. So that's going to do it for me on this edition of In the Lab Room. Happens in the National Football League, whether big or small. We cover it all here in the Lab Room. Thank you for joining me. I've got more games in week number 9 to break down, so don't you move. Come back and join me as I continue to break down week number 9 in the National Football League.